This is DEC Signal, your weekly District 65 educator briefing. I'm Carol Hennessy. This week, we're stepping back from the news to talk about something fundamental. Why does DEC membership matter? Let's start with the most important thing, your contract. Without DEC, there is no collectively bargained contract. There's no negotiated salary schedule, no step increases, no retirement incentives, no negotiated limits on class size or workload, no grievance process when something goes wrong. Your working conditions, your planning time, your evaluation process, your health insurance contribution, and the protections spelled out in your contract exist because educators came together and bargained collectively through DEC. For the last contract, DEC participated in 25 bargaining sessions, issue by issue, line by line. And when the district acknowledged its structural deficit during negotiations, DEC was at the table, making sure educators weren't the ones expected to absorb all the pain. But negotiating a contract is only part of the job. A contract doesn't enforce itself. When there's a disagreement about what the contract says, when a provision isn't being followed, or when an educator has a workplace problem, DEC's building representatives and leadership are there. That's what a union does. It makes sure management is accountable to the agreement it signed. And DEC doesn't do that work alone. As a DEC member, you're also part of the Illinois Education Association and the National Education Association. That gives DEC access to UniServe directors, legal resources, and professional staff who help local associations navigate contract enforcement, workplace issues, and other challenges. You're not figuring this out by yourself. And then there's something harder to put a dollar value on: collective voice. Think about what happens when one educator raises a concern about workload, staffing, planning time, or a change in working conditions. That individual can speak up. They can ask questions. They can advocate for themselves. But there's a very different dynamic when hundreds of educators stand behind the same concern and have an organization with the ability to bring that concern directly to district leadership. That's collective power. It means an educator doesn't have to walk into a difficult conversation alone. It means a problem happening in one classroom or one building can be identified as something affecting educators across the district. And it means the district isn't simply hearing from one employee, it's hearing from an organized workforce. When decisions are made about staffing, programs, budgets, and working conditions, DEC has a voice. Not always winning, not always getting everything educators want, but present, organized, asking questions, pushing back, documenting what's happening, and holding the district accountable. That's the power of a union. And that power comes from membership. The more educators who belong to DEC, the stronger DEC's position is when it sits across the table from the district. That's especially important right now. District 65 has already gone through enormous change. Schools have closed. Programs have ended or changed. Educators have been displaced and reassigned. Those decisions have been made. But the impact of those decisions doesn't end when the reassignment process ends. Educators are entering a school year with new buildings, new teams, different staffing configurations, changing workloads, and continued budget pressure across the district. Now DEC's job is to make sure the contract continues to be followed as everyone works within that new reality. This is exactly when union membership matters most. When things are stable, it's easy to forget what the union does. When things are changing, you find out quickly. DEC is watching how district decisions affect educators. DEC is watching the budget. DEC is representing educators when workplace issues arise. And DEC is making sure the contract is followed, even when the district is under pressure. If you're not a member, you may still benefit from much of that work. But the strength behind that work comes from the educators who choose to stand together and support it. One educator has a voice. Hundreds of educators have leverage. The more members DEC has, the stronger that leverage becomes. That's DEC Signal for this week. If you're a member, thank you. If you're not, talk to your building rep and ask what DEC membership means for you. This is your union. It works better when you're in it. Take care of yourselves and each other.